You're listening to the Wolves Sports Network. The Wolves play here at the University of West Georgia Carrollton, now an Odyssey station.
Welcome to the Playbook. Now, it's a late night here in Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. So sit back, relax.
Actually, let's get hype. This is the Playbook.
Diego Pavia and the Vanderbilt Commodores have not beat a ranked team at all this season.
Rylan Zaborowski is incredible. I feel like we're the best team in the country personally.
And I think this Michigan State team is poised for a deep run in March. I think they're probably going to win the Big Ten this year, to be honest with you.
And we bring you the best in college sports, including our very own West Georgia Wolves.
You mean to tell me these Wolves can't outscore them by at least 1 point here at University Stadium? Michael, give me the Wolf head!
And Brandon Dyer tries to defend his back-to-back titles in Who's That Campus Legend. This is the Playbook.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Playbook. It's been a while since we've been able to talk some college sports with you guys, but we have a jam-packed episode today. To my left, I have the man behind the board, Michael Miller, this time for this episode. Across from me, UWG quarterback Collin Hurst. Had him on a little bit earlier on in this season, but we decided we like this guy. Let's bring him back. Let's get him back on for another episode. And we have JT here, of course, the man to my right. You guys, how's everybody's spring break went?
It was good. You know, Brandon, me and you went up to Athens, watched some baseball. It was cold, though. It was cold for spring break being up there.
Oh, dude, that was a weird game because it was like hot
Very
and
weird.
then it got cold.
It was really hot at the beginning of the game. We were down to 5-0 to the Citadel, came back, had to walk it off against them, but it was a good game. Had some fun. Just kind of, me and you watched a lot of basketball last week, so kind of chilled out.
Yeah, pretty
Collin?
good. Just went back home to South Florida, so didn't really go out or anything because it's so hectic. Everybody's down there anyway. Just sat at home, hang out with family and friends and everything. It was a good break for sure.
How about you,
Definitely
JT?
a much-needed break. Got to
For
go home,
sure.
see my family, and got to go to Birmingham for a few days on a little Christian little retreat, resting time. It was a really good time. Much-needed break.
I didn't get to go up to see my family, but I did get to hang out with two brothers, and that is a Michael Miller and Aiden over the break. Michael got me into disc golf over the break, dude.
Hey.
So
It's a good game.
we're going to have to go and play some disc golf a whole lot more. But it's time to get into the show. Michael, let's kick off. All right, everybody in here, are you ready for the kickoff? I said, are you ready for the kickoff? Now, you may have been paying attention to the college basketball world and March Madness and all of that over spring break. But this spring, we also have a sport here at West Georgia that has been at work. It seems like almost every day for it, Collin. How is spring practice going over there for you guys?
It's been good. A lot of the guys are just getting acclimated to the new system, the new coaches and everything. I think we built a really strong foundation with our winter workouts and stuff, just, getting used to the standard and everything like that. So but the first few practices have been pretty good. Obviously, a lot of mistakes, a lot of mental busts and stuff like that, but we knew that was going to happen. So just, again, reinforcing the fact that we're all about, I think that the two biggest things, especially on offense, that we've gone over is just focusing on alignment and assignment, because we know we have the talent here. I've seen it in just the first couple of practices, like we said. Like, we have guys everywhere on offense and defense, guys flying around making plays. But as long as we, know what we're doing and have the discipline to know what we're doing and do the right job, then I think we'll be just fine.
What's been like the biggest challenge for you guys so far in spring practice? Is kind of a lot of new faces, new coaching staff. Not for you, but for a lot of the guys here, it's a new coaching staff, new everything this season.
Yeah, I think it's just been just the mold of the team. It's a brand new team. I know we lost, I think, 73 guys from last year's roster. Like, it's everybody between guys from PC or guys from the portal or guys that are coming back that just don't know a lot about this team. Like, just the camaraderie and the chemistry that we've been building. Obviously, we're trying to keep things, pretty in-house and trying to compete with one another. But then again, you want guys that have high energy and are flying around and making plays and stuff. But we also want to keep each other up and keep each other positive and stuff like that. We're all teammates at the end of the day. So just battling that back and forth has been probably the biggest challenge so far.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it's a new team. I mean, you even have a whole new head coach and Coach Englehart. And, I mean, looking at this West Georgia roster and there's players from all over that are coming back or they're coming from PC, like wherever they're coming from. What has been like trying to build that bond up with like these new teammates?
Yeah, obviously the locker room's a big thing. Just trying to get to know everybody in the locker room and stuff like that. We've done a couple of team bonding things though. I know during winter workouts, one of our kind of off days, as you can say, kind of got some conditioning and played some 5-on-5 basketball. Just trying to get the guys, acclimated to everybody and stuff like that. I think one of the days on a Friday or one of our off days, we went bowling out here in Carrollton. But just little stuff like that, it doesn't take much to get a group of guys together to one collective goal. And I think Coach E's done a great job at so far building the culture of, it's all about the team, it's we over me and stuff like that. So, it's been a great challenge, like you said. I mean, we play in 7 months. It's a really quick turnaround. But these first 2 months have flown by, but I think it's shown how much we've come together so far.
So now there's some people that'll say, oh, this is a team where like half of you guys are coming in, meeting new people, trying to get accustomed to other people. But to me, I think that honestly that might be able to like help you guys build chemistry more as a team with kind of like, yeah, I know what they're going through and I can kind of like relate to that a little bit. Is that a little bit what that is like in the locker room right now?
Yeah, I mean, no matter really who you are, like everybody on this team is in some sort of new role. I mean, in stepping into some sort of new environment and stuff like that. So I think we all kind of know that collectively, and the coaches do too. I mean, the coaches, whether the guys from PC, they're coming into a new school, or the guys that have been here that are with a new staff and new players and stuff like that, like everybody's pretty much in the same pool, maybe just in a kind of different context. But yeah, I mean, we've kind of used that to our advantage. As a lot of people would maybe say it's a disadvantage, it's an advantage because it's all a fresh start, and we can start from ground one, or start at the starting point. So I think we've taken that to an advantage for sure.
I think we talked about this a little bit the first time you were on, but we're talking about just kind of the process of a quarterback trying to build a relationship with new receivers. How has that been through spring so far, and how long does that really take to kind of get like where you're really comfortable with each wide receiver? Yeah,
it's been good. I mean, we do the same 2-3 drills in pre-practice every single day. So getting used to that timing and stuff like that is just going to take time. Obviously it's not going to happen overnight. But we're getting there for sure. I mean, obviously there's plays here and there where a ball's a foot outside, or a receiver's a step behind, stuff like that. But we'll work on that, and obviously we'll rep all that stuff all the way through the end of the season. I mean, we'll with the same drills that we're doing on day one, or the same drills that we'll be doing the last week of the season in November, December. So
yeah, and Collin, it is March. Obviously, college basketball is going on right now. Who was your pick? I know you made a bracket. Like, who was your pick? Who were some Cinderella teams that you kind of had going? Walk us through like what your bracket looked like this year.
So I have Houston winning it, so they're still in it. I think they've looked really good, so I'm excited about that. I did have Wisconsin in the Elite Eight, so that kind of hurt in the first round.
Yeah, the high point upset.
Yeah. But honestly, I think I'm super rare. Like, I don't have any 1 seeds in my Final Four.
Wow.
I'm trying to
spice
it up a little bit.
I respect it.
I have Bama and St. John's beating Duke and Michigan next round.
There we go.
So, but no, it's pretty good. I got 11 of the 16 in the suite. I said if I got anything over 10, I'd be happy. So
that's solid.
I'm happy with 11 out of 16.
I like how you don't have a 1 seed in your Final Four. I like that because I'm the only one in our bracket that didn't choose a 1 seed to win it all. I chose Gonzaga. Obviously, it didn't work out for me.
Well, see, that's because we have a punishment tied to ours.
We do have a punishment.
So our thing is just kind of like we just don't want to finish the last.
Yeah, right.
But like, yeah, and then you're a big Florida guy. What's going on with Florida the other day?
I don't know. I mean, I'm from South Florida, so I'm more of a Miami fan. But yeah, man, that kid was Spurts or something from Iowa, didn't even have his best day, and he's their best player, and they still found a way to win. I mean, I think Florida still out-rebounded them by 10, 15 rebounds, and they still found a way to win. I mean, it's crazy. But no, I did pick my Hurricanes to lose, so it was kind of a win-lose situation. It was tough to see him lose, but it helped my bracket. So I think I have Purdue in the Final Four. I think I have him in the final too.
Now this guy,
I'm really super high on Purdue. I've been telling these guys about Purdue since January.
Yeah, no, that was the problem because I knew they played Miami, and I was like, oh crap, that sucks. But is what it is. They lost to a good team, so hopefully they make it far.
Yeah, if there's anybody you want to talk about Purdue, that's your guy right there.
I have them going to the Elite Eight, and sadly they faced my champion Arizona. I would have taken them over probably any other team other than Arizona, but that's just the bracket they got dealt.
What's been your favorite game to watch so far? Because for me, it was the Arkansas High Point game the other night. That was by far, to me, the most fun
Yeah,
game
that
we've
probably
seen.
would have been my favorite one if my team won, Wisconsin. Probably, I think I watched it with my dad and one of my buddies. Was the VCU North Carolina game, because it was one that I was about to turn off. I mean, they were up 19 in the second half, and they came all the way back, and that was one of the upsets I picked. So watching them force overtime and winning it in overtime was really fun to watch.
I've got a least favorite game from this past March Madness, though. That was not a fun time watching my Georgia Bulldogs get splattered all over the place by St. Louis.
By the
Billikens.
By the Billikens.
What is a Billiken? I don't know, but they beat a Bulldog apparently.
Apparently.
Well, Collin, it was great having you on for this episode. Always a pleasure to have you here on a WSN Wolf Sports Network, and we'll probably start having you on towards the fall as well whenever football season approaches. But it is March, and it's time for some madness, you guys.
Hey, how about them Wolves?
Let's talk about some West Georgia Wolves. So, it is March Madness, as you might know. So, we are going to go and we are going to start in this East region of the bracket here. And, guys, this has been one of the weirdest looking brackets out of all the regions in there. You had UCLA really going through, getting that win over UCF in the first round. It looks like all the higher seeds except for TCU won in the East one. But that St. John's Kansas game yesterday, though, guys, what about it?
I like Rick Pitino. I have St. John's going. I have St. John's going extremely far in this tournament. They're actually one of my Final Four teams. I have them actually beating Duke this upcoming week. But I'm a big fan of Rick Pitino. I think he's a great coach. I think that game against Kansas, I didn't think Kansas was that good. I think St. John's was a little bit lower ranked than they should have been. 5 seeds kind of disrespectful. I feel like they could have been a 3 very easily.
Yeah.
But overall, I think St. John's, I think that they'll be the team that comes out of the East side. I could see Michigan State maybe, but I think that St. John's gets it done against Duke this upcoming week as well.
Now I have
I got a lot of questions about the reasoning and the logic put into that decision, because Duke has been a boulder rolling down a hill. The momentum has been building for this team.
They haven't looked good this tournament.
They had a rough first half against Siena, I mean
they had a rough almost entire game against Siena.
They've had a bad game and a bad half. The second half they stormed back and controlled that game pretty easily, I would say.
I will say their outing against TCU definitely helped out their case a little bit more. But we've learned from past March Madnesses you can't really count on Duke. Even if they're like that clear 1 seed, I don't think you can count on them. I don't think they're the best team in college basketball right now. I think that low-key on the other side in the West Conference, I think Arizona might be the best team in basketball right now. They're riding the high right now. I think that they have the best shot of going all the way. But I just don't think that Duke has shown us that they're kind of falling asleep a little bit. I think we saw it in the Siena game. I mean, we didn't really see it much in the TCU game. They started to build back. And I just think that St. John's has looked like a really good team. They played well against the Kansas team, ended up edging out the win. And I just think that Rick Pitino and the St. John's team is going to go out there and beat Duke.
St. John's
it's madness, dude. I'm telling you.
St. John's has performed in the big games. They got the win against UConn in the Big East tournament, or before the Big East tournament, and then they went out there and beat Kansas in this last big game they played. But Duke in this bracket has been like they've done everything right for the last month and a half. They went out and beat Michigan on the neutral court. They dominated an ACC play for the vast majority of the time. I just think it's a little bit remiss to pick anyone but Duke coming out of this East at this point in time.
I mean, I just don't think so. I mean, and you still have the 2 and the 3 seed over there with UConn or Michigan State, and I feel like if Duke manages to get past St. John's, I feel like one of those 2 teams, maybe not UConn, but if Michigan State gets out of there, I'm not big on UConn. I had UCLA beating them. That didn't happen, obviously. But I think that Michigan State would also have a really good shot at beating Duke. We already saw a 1 seed fall in Florida losing to Iowa. Mm-hmm. I think we could see another 1 seed fall out in the Sweet 16.
And there's no greater endorsement for a team in March than JT saying that he's not high on them. So this is great news to hear.
Collin talked about it. He doesn't have a single 1 seed in his Final Four. And I honestly, I might have Arizona in my Final Four now, but I think that Michigan could very easily lose in the Elite Eight or the Sweet 16 to even Alabama. Or I think that Duke might lose this week or next week in the Elite Eight.
It's possible.
I think Arizona has the best path.
Likely. I would not call it likely.
Well, to be fair, I fill out 2 brackets every year, and that's because I have one where I'm like, oh, okay, this is like the serious
Stand
one.
on your principles.
And then I have one of them where I'm like, oh, okay, I could see this possibly happening.
I'm the same way. I mean, I have my bracket where I had Gonzaga obviously going all the way. That's not really like it's a serious bracket because I like having my faith in Gonzaga, but I had a separate bracket where I picked Michigan to go all the way. They're still in it. I'm looking good in that one. But other than that, I mean, I just don't think that Duke is the team that teams need to be worried about right now. I think that
I hold up now. I really do think Duke is the team you need to worry about
obviously,
over here.
but it's not the team that you need to worry about.
Oh, no, they
obviously
are.
you need to worry about them, but I don't think that they've shown enough in this tournament yet to really say that St. John's doesn't deserve a shot against them. I think St. John's has a great
St. John's
shot.
completely deserves a shot.
I think Duke's playing a little bit lower, and I think St. John's is playing at a higher pace. And I think that this is a great matchup, and I wouldn't be surprised if St. John's took it.
To be honest, JT, I would say Arizona's in more danger coming up this weekend than Duke is.
Really?
I'm loving the way Arkansas is playing basketball right now. They had a close game with a high point, but look, Arkansas is scoring points. It's a fast offense. I love watching them play. John Capillari, one of the most underrated head coaches in college basketball.
I don't know who's
No,
underrated.
I don't know who's
Calipari.
underrated.
I don't think he's underrated.
Yeah, what are you saying to me? Like, I'm not doing it. I've never.
that's
said-
one of the best.
Only praise for John Calipari.
Yeah, that's one of the best college basketball players of all time.
Darius Acuff is a beast as well. I do like Arkansas, but I think Arizona's just a better
They just
team.
play so fast.
Yeah.
If they shoot good, you
They're gonna
can't beat
win,
them. I mean, it's
good basketball team.
That might be
Coming
that's matchup of the
Coming
week right
back
there.
over here to this East region, how do we feel about Michigan State? Because we've talked about UConn. We're not really high on them. Well, JT wasn't
I'm not high
on
them.
Now, how do we feel about Michigan State
this
over
Michigan
here?
State
This 3
UConn
seed.
game is, this is one of the most forgettable games in March so far. I don't know if anybody's looking at the upcoming slate and being like,
I'm looking forward to it.
well,
I like
Brandon,
Tom
you know,
Izzo.
you got some weird opinions.
This is Big Ten basketball. This is must-see basketball, Aiden.
These are 2 solid basketball teams that don't really. The coach matchup is going to be more entertaining. Tom Izzo and Dan Hurley yelling at the referees is going to be the most entertaining thing to watch on the court that night. The 2 basketball teams they are what they are. They're well coached, play solid, good basketball team. They're going to draw up good plays and get after it. And there's not really any true breakaway stars, I would say, other than
Jeremy
Well, that's what
Fears.
it is.
Jeremy
It's
Fears,
going
Jeremy
for
Fears.
yeah.
I like guard play, and I think that Michigan State beats out UConn when it comes to the guard play.
Like, I will say that game, I think, kind of gets overshadowed because I do think the winner of whoever wins between St. John's and Duke winds up going through and representing this East region in the Final Four, depending on, regardless of whoever wins at that one. But
those are the teams that are capable of something special. The UConn and Michigan State, they're great 2 and 3 seeds. They're going to go out there and give you good, consistent basketball every night, but they're not special teams.
They can make a
Come down
Final
to the end of
Four,
it.
but they're not going to be that team that comes out on top.
I think Michigan State just is one of the best overall team basketball
just
teams.
built well. Tom Izzo knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think he has done a good job over there with Michigan State. But real quick, your picks on this. Who represents this bracket? I think we'll just go around the table one by one. Who do we think reaches the Final Four out of these teams? JT.
Give me Rick Pitino and the Johnnies. I think they managed to come out of it on top. I think they beat Duke. And if in some world where Michigan State or if some world where UConn beats them, then beats Michigan State, then I can't hear myself anymore because Aiden just turned down my mic. But in any world where Michigan State, if Michigan State wins it and they play Duke, I see Michigan State, but give me St. John's.
What about you, Ed?
Duke. I'm going to keep it short and simple. They're the best team in basketball. They have been for 2 months.
I'm with Aiden.
Michael.
Duke.
I do think
Even
Duke
shorter,
winds
even
up
simpler.
winning this one. That Duke and St. John's game might be the game of the Sweet 16, though. I think that might be the best matchup in that round.
I do like what Michael said, though. Arizona-Arkansas is definitely going to be a fun game to watch as well.
Hey, no spoilers.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we'll get that in just a little
And we'll
bit.
get to that later. But before we get to that, I want to let you guys know that college students who binge drink alcohol at least 3 times per week were roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or project because of drinking. Dream City Brewing Company, Wolf Sports Network, and Wolf Radio proudly remind you to drink responsibly. Students 21 and over should drink responsibly in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculty will not take hangovers as excuses. Also, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce the 21% of adults with low literacy skills. We are collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pre-K student monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/bookdrive. That's thewolfuwg.com/bookdrive. And don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the South and the West regions.
You're listening to The Playbook, your home for college sports. On Wolf Sports Network.
It's a new semester here at West Georgia, and that means a brand new season of sports out of pocket.
I love Jameis Winston to death, but look at the guy. Like, come on, that's not the veteran quarterback that I want to be.
He's a locker room guy.
They got Jonathan Taylor back there. It's like having Saquon, just a little bit worse, but it's like having Saquon.
Tune in to Season 7 of Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
From West Georgia to the heart of Atlanta, sports don't stop. So neither do we. This is Sports Pack. Sharp takes, big highlights, and coverage to keep you locked in until the final whistle. Tune in from 6 to 7 on Mondays and Thursdays to hear what the crew has to say about your favorite team. Sports Pack, only on Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
When it comes to fandom, nothing matters more than the fit. The logo you wear solidifies your love. Now you can be a Wolf Sports Network fanatic with our brand new merch store powered by Ozier Apparel. Visit wolfsportsnetwork.com and click about.
Dunking on them like they're tendies in some barbecue sauce. Oh my!
It's time for halftime hoops.
So we went through and we broke it down who we thought the Final Four was going to be in the East region. But now we move over to the South region where we had the Florida Gators lose to the Iowa Hawkeyes last night. Aiden, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I'll tell you about this region. This has been the most entertaining region, I think, by far. Florida gave Iowa everything they could handle, a 73-72 loss for the Gators, who were the one seed. And we talked about it on the show. They were definitely the lowest strength of the one seeds. They were not in that S tier we had of Michigan, Arizona, and Duke being the runaway favorites for this tournament. And we saw them get beat. And now this bracket's in a very interesting position where we have a team in Nebraska that I did not see in this spot. I predicted them to lose to Troy in the first round.
I did as well.
Yeah, Troy looked really good, and what we've seen out of Nebraska is not what I expected. They have looked like a much more cohesive and just much better basketball team than what we had seen from them in Big Ten Conference play. I really like where they sit in this quadrant right now, where they have the game against the 9 seed Iowa, who has not looked particularly inspiring. They got the win against Florida, but that was – I don't know if they really beat Florida or Florida beat themselves in that game. Like Collin commented on earlier, Florida out-rebounded, and Iowa didn't have a particularly great game from their leading scorer. Nonetheless, Iowa got the win despite all of that. And Houston was the team that I originally had coming out of this quadrant. But right now, I'm liking where the Cornhuskers sit.
I do like them matched up against Iowa in there in the Sweet 16. I think you're sleeping on Illinois. I think that Illinois is a team that I'm a big fan of team basketball, Aiden. And I will preach it until the day that I die. Team basketball, rebounding, and defense wins the championships.
Michael, what really wins championships? Because me and you have similar opinions on this.
Winning championships, well, it depends on the sport. Because in football,
in basketball, Michael.
I feel like it's the same for both.
I think in basketball, I kind of shifted on my opinion on that because I would have agreed with Brandon probably earlier this year. I've kind of shifted my opinion on that watching Duke go and beat Michigan the way they did. I think it's the star power. I think if you've got like the star power in the top of the lineup there in basketball, I think they can carry you over like a really good, well-rounded team.
I don't know. I'm looking at this side. Obviously, the standout win was Iowa beating Florida.
Yeah.
But I just think that over there with Illinois and Houston, I think whoever wins that game ends up being the team that makes it to the Final Four. I had Vandy beating Nebraska. That didn't happen, obviously. I had both Florida and Vandy in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I did too.
That did not happen. Iowa and Nebraska. I do like Nebraska. They've looked very promising. I didn't buy into the Troy hype like you guys, but I did think it was going to be a lot closer than it was. Troy just got absolutely blown out. Nebraska looked like the much better team.
Yeah.
And then beating Vandy, really sad to see that ball go in and out
Great
of the rim.
game.
Dude, by the way, that's
game.
been, I think, the game of the tournament
I
so
agree.
far.
I agree. That's really what brought me into this Nebraska team. Is that looked like two teams that were going to go really deep in March playing one another, and we saw Nebraska come out on top. And my girlfriend picked Nebraska to win the tournament, and she's been doing quite well in the NCAA bracket somehow, some way. So I'm kind of buying into the hype that she has got me into on this Nebraska team.
Who's the star player on this Nebraska team, Aiden? Do they have a star player?
Dude, it's good team basketball. All right. All right, good team basketball.
Hey, they got Price Sanford.
Hey, Nebraska gets through this game against Vanderbilt with good defense and almost 5 players averaging in double-digit figures. Something that I love to see in a box.
They put together a great team game. All right. There's nothing wrong with putting together a great team game. That'll win you some games. I don't think it wins you the national championship, even though I did just say Nebraska's coming into the Final Four this quadrant now. You don't got to hold everything that I say to the same level of scrutiny.
As I said, I like Illinois in this one. Houston, really good. I don't even want to call them a sleeper team, because I have them in my Final Four.
Who's
They're not a sleeper team. They made it
Houston.
almost all the way last year.
2 seed.
I really like the way
they
Houston's
were the runner-up last year. I don't think they're a sleeper at all. I think it's very rare, actually, for a 2 seed to go all the way and win it. It's actually been very rare that they have won it all. But I do like Houston in this. I mean, that Illinois-Houston matchup, I feel like, could very well be the game of the tournament. I mean, you got Illinois high-powered offense versus a high-powered defense in Houston. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I think that Houston makes it out of this and makes it to the Final Four. I actually had them going against Gonzaga in the championship. Obviously, I picked Gonzaga to win. They did not even make it there. But I think that Houston has a good shot to maybe even make it to the championship.
And this is more evidence for Nebraska making it to the Final Four. JT has thrown his weight.
Yeah, I think I'm in the.
Hey, if Duke and Nebraska end up in the Final Four, I will take any tomatoes thrown at me. I do not care. I'd be very impressed.
Tomatoes to throw at them. But I think the winner of that Illinois-Houston game is going to be the one that winds up representing in the Final Four into the South region, though.
I think the opposite. Houston's kind of been sleepwalking their way through this tournament. I mean, very successfully, but they just haven't played anybody up to this point. They've been dominant.
I mean, they've won by 31 points both times. You can only
play
play the cards that are dealt to you.
You mentioned sleepwalking,
easy for
but
a couple weeks.
you were backing up Duke earlier for only winning by 6 to Siena. And
they played a good, close game of basketball. They had to really grind in that second half to get back into that game.
Yeah, but they were down in the first place. Is the problem?
A tough minute of this
tournament. I don't think Houston's trailed at a single point in this entire tournament.
What I'm saying is Houston's been
I would say on the other side of this Illinois team, really, they've played Penn and they've played VCU.
Yeah, neither one of these teams have played anybody like that great.
I had VCU in the Sweet 16 in this tournament. I really liked VCU's team this year.
Michael, who do you have coming out of this? I don't think we've heard anything out of you in this region at all.
Yeah, no, I was just going to let Aiden take it there. I do like Houston, though. I did pick Houston in this region. I'm kind of leaning towards Illinois now, though. I don't know. I'm with you, Brandon. I like watching Illinois play basketball. I know we've talked about the star power at the top end. I still agree with you. But I do like some good team basketball also. So I'm kind of leaning more towards Illinois now.
There's no true stars in this quadrant, I would say.
Nothing would warm my heart more than an all Big Ten Final Four. And it's possible. It's very possible.
It is possible.
Well,
except for Duke.
The hardest one is going to be Michigan State. Because they've got to
Duke.
either beat St. John's, Duke, and UConn.
If they make it past
to get
UConn,
through to it. I think Illinois, I think the Big Ten's got maybe represent that region. They have Iowa, Nebraska, and Illinois, 3 of the 4 into that one. So
give me the underdog.
But we look over here in this West region, and there's a team in here that's been
Don't even
winning
say it.
that I've been talking about for a while now. We mentioned it in the opening segment. But these Purdue Boilermakers. How about them Boilermakers, y'all?
You tell me, Brandon. You've been hyping them up.
You can't have us talk about them. Yeah,
You're the black and gold expert. You got it.
Well, hey, I think they're playing really good basketball right now, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that coming into this tournament, I thought that it was going to be experience. I'm a big fan of experience on teams. Call me old school on that. Just kind of like experience, rebound, and defense, team basketball. Tom Izzo disciple over here, you guys. I love me a good Tom Izzo, Michigan State type of
a Big Ten
basketball team. I do love me a Big Ten basketball team. And wind up beating Queens in that first round, and then they beat Miami in the second round. Miami was hanging around with them just a little bit too long, but the team that they are matched up against only got a 9-point win against Kennesaw State in the opening round, but pull off a massive upset against what at least 25% of the Playbook cast talked about being one of the best teams in the entire tournament.
Dude, whoever thought Gonzaga was actually going to go all the way might be the dumbest man alive. And if he's not the dumbest man, he better hope that the dumbest man alive doesn't die. But no, this Gonzaga team played probably the worst bit of basketball I've ever seen out of a college basketball team in the last 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, since Gonzaga last March.
It was it was absolutely pathetic watching that team try and close out a big game like that against Texas. Texas has been very surprising coming out of this region. I do see a world where they beat Purdue. I really hope they do so I can stop hearing it from Brandon Dyer over here. But I don't think it's going to happen. I do see Purdue. But overall, I think that whoever wins that Arizona-Arkansas game, I know Michael mentioned it. He loves that Arkansas team. John Calipari and Darius Acuff is a beast. And I think that Arkansas has a solid shot at beating Arizona. But again, I think Arizona might be the best team in basketball right now. I could see them coming out of that in the Final Four.
We mentioned Gonzaga last year. I think some would say, Michael, would you argue Gonzaga got off to a really good start last year the tournament?
I think Gonzaga last year specifically was a phenomenal basketball program. Phenomenal team. They ran into a tough situation. They beat a juggernaut in the first round last year and really paved their way forward, and they got cheated out in the second round.
Yep.
How'd that game start? That game started out, what was it, 23-0?
If you watch the Jalen Milroe Heisman show the year before in football, it was kind of like that, just on the hardwood.
So now, Michael, out of these four teams right here, who do you have coming out of here?
I like Arkansas. I'm big on Arkansas right now. SEC bias is all over me at the moment too. Want to see the SEC have success, knock out the Big Ten, the Big 12, these stupid conferences that are trying to be good at sports here.
Yeah, fake conferences.
Yeah.
Whoa, you guys can have football. Well, I mean, I don't even know if we can even say you guys have football, but that's for another argument.
I'm not going to pick a single one seed to make it to the Final Four anymore. My bracket's already cooked, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to agree with you, Michael. I think Arkansas gets it done against Arizona, and I think that they go to the Final Four. I'm not going to have a single number one seed make it to the Final Four now. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I'm a realist, you guys. I like to have fun, but I'm also a realist.
Okay, if we want to be a realist about things, Arizona is the far and away favorite to come out of this quadrant.
Yeah,
the favorite.
Now, my brain does want to go, or my heart does want to go with Arkansas. That game against High Point was very fun to watch. This team is just a very entertaining team to watch in March. But Arizona's been consistently one of the best teams in basketball. We're not being realist if we don't bring up Arizona going to the Final Four here. That's the most likely outcome.
So now some would say Texas, sitting at that 11 seed, would be considered a Cinderella. Would you guys agree with that or no?
Yeah.
I would 100% say so. I mean,
this was a team that was getting beat by Georgia earlier this month. And now they're
Alabama did too.
I'm going to be honest with you. Georgia was going to be a sneaky pick for me until they drew that 8 seed.
Yeah, that was a tough St. Louis was a tough matchup for them because Georgia did get real hot at the end of the season where they were making everything, playing some really good teams. But I did not think Texas had it in them to compete with a team like – I thought BYU was going to blow them off the map, to be honest with you. I thought BYU was going to be –
I thought BYU was going to the Elite Eight.
I had a lot of faith. I had BYU in the Final Four. And tough day for me when they ran into the Longhorns. And I still just sit here and look at my bracket in sadness thinking of what could have been. A.J. DeBont's a 35 and the team can't get a win. brutal. I love watching A.J. DeBonsa play.
I mean,
get to see much.
Mr. Brandon Dyer, I 100% think that this Texas team is a Cinderella team, or what you would call one. I mean, they had to play their way into the tournament in the first place. They beat NC State by only 2 points. And then they go on and they beat a really talented 6th seed with A.J. DeBonsa on their team. And then they go out and they beat a team like Gonzaga, which you guys say whatever you want about them. They're a good basketball team. And now they have an opportunity against Purdue, who I think next season is going to suck because all 3 of their top players are graduating. But I think that this season Purdue has a solid shot. I know I always trash on them, but if we're being a realist, like Aiden said,
that's right.
Purdue has a solid shot of coming out of this region.
That's not right.
But I think
it's not what I said.
I don't know, because at this point, I'm kind of siding with all 3 of these teams over Texas. I really like this region in general. I like this region. I think any of these teams can make it out. Texas obviously is the underdog, but I would love to see a Texas in the Final Four. I feel like that'd be awesome.
Shout out Gonzaga. We didn't say Gonzaga was a bad basketball team. They are among the top 64 teams in college basketball.
I said say what you want about them. I didn't say you guys were calling them trash. They're a good basketball team, no matter what you guys say about them.
All right,
Aiden, who you got?
Oh, who do I said Arizona. Arizona's the think with your head, not your hearts, guys. Come on.
I'm thinking with my heart, Aiden. Woo pig.
Yeah.
I don't like Arkansas in this one. Like, I guess under what you were talking about earlier, Michael, Arkansas does fall under they have the star player and just kind of like a team built around him. But I think Arizona both has a star player and they have probably 2 star players and then
Heart beats
a
talent,
team around them.
It's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog, Brandon Dyer.
We're not talking about dogs. We're talking about hogs.
And cats. And cats. I take a hog over a cat any day.
All
right. And then do we give Texas any kind of chance to beat Purdue at all? Or are we just kind of like,
Purdue's not very good.
That's not true at all.
I mean, look, I will say this.
Statistically.
When I'm watching college basketball, I'm watching SEC basketball, right? So I've watched Texas play a lot this year, and they've had moments, kind of like A&M as well. Kind of funny, both those 2 teams are kind of the same way to me. They've had moments when they play their best game, they destroy people. They destroyed Georgia the first time they played. They destroyed a couple other teams this year. It's just that they haven't been consistent at all throughout the entirety of the regular season. But now they're starting to click, so I think they could absolutely beat Purdue. I don't think they're going to, but I think they can.
Ed, do you think Texas can beat Purdue?
Yeah, I just said. I think Texas has beat teams that are better than them in the first 2 rounds. I think they got a good shot at doing it again against Purdue.
Yeah, I mean,
very overperformed what I thought they were capable of at the start of this tournament.
If I'm being a realist, then Purdue's going to get it done against Texas. But I just don't see them beating Arizona or Arkansas. But if I'm going with my heart, I want to see Texas beat Purdue. I want them to smack the crap out of Purdue in this Sweet 16 just to prove Brandon Dyer wrong. That's been so high on this black and gold team this entire tournament. I just don't want to see Purdue succeed.
I didn't jump on this bandwagon when the tournament began. I've been on this bandwagon since almost December.
Since day one.
And this has been, I was about to say.
I didn't say you were a bandwagon.
Since Purdue was actually good.
Day one lover of Purdue basketball. So in my tournament, my heart tells me to pick Purdue out of these 4 teams. But as I said earlier, they're going to face Arizona. And I think Arizona's the best team in college basketball. Can Purdue get it done against Arizona? Maybe.
No.
But I do not think any logical reason to think that they would.
Guys, I've got some bad news for you.
What is it?
College students who binge drink alcohol at least 3 times per week were roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or project because of drinking. Dream City Brewing Company, Wolf Sports Network, and Wolf Radio proudly remind you to drink responsibly. Students 21 and over should drink responsibly in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculty won't take hangovers as excuses. Stay with us.
Get ready to hit the jackpot. Sports Out of Pocket is back for Season 7. The Lucky Seven's final season with me, Jackson Voles. From wild debates to the boldest takes in the game, Jackson is going all in for his final run. 7 seasons, 1 final spin. Don't miss it. Catch Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
From the court to the diamond, Sports Pack has you covered. That's right, folks. The new semester brings an all-new season of Sports Pack, where every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7, the crew will take you through everything UWG athletics. We're talking men's and women's basketball, baseball, softball, and everything in between. You don't want to miss it. So be sure to tune in every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 here on Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
What's up? This is Parker Andell, and I'm the newest voice of Sports Out of Pocket. Step into Lucky Season 7, where the odds are in our favor. Crazy insights, hidden stories, and conversations that will pay off every single time. With a fresh season and a fresh voice, Lucky Sevens is here. Tune in to Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Sports Pack is here for you, providing all the West Georgia sports content you need to stay in the game. Tune in to Wolf Sports Network every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. so you never miss a beat as the crew takes you through the wild world of UWG sports, while also keeping you updated with your local Atlanta teams as well. Don't miss out. Sports Pack every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive. Our ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book to every child at UWG's pre-K monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. Visit thewolfuwg.com/book drive. Now, we've talked about the South region. We've talked about the Midwest and the South. But... Well, no, we have not talked about the West. We've talked about the West, but not the Midwest. Yep. My bad, you guys. But this Midwest side of this has not been as interesting as any of the other sides of this.
There's been an interesting game, Tennessee and Virginia.
That's a very interesting. Yeah.
I would say it would be the only game that has really been close in this quadrant so far to this point. Tennessee's impressed me. They win over Virginia. Another good buddy of mine in his bracket had Virginia winning the national championship. I'm not entirely sure what he had seen from this Virginia team that made him believe in him that hard, but it was not to be seen on the court.
I did have him in my Final Four.
You see, and I just don't. Can you give me a reason for that? Because this
good
team
rebounding,
did not,
good defense.
Yeah, that's for a reason.
That's what they were good at in the regular season. That's what got them to the ACC championship game before they lost to Duke.
And unfortunately, it does require scoring more points than the other team to win a basketball game. And Virginia was not capable of that in March. And
to be fair, that defense just kind of folded for Virginia. I was about to say, gave up 73 to Wright State and then gave up 79 to Tennessee.
Yeah, didn't perform in March.
Yeah,
we got to shut down the big players.
I was about to say, one of the two boxes that they did check, they just didn't show up in. And then
they only had one.
A team that really surprised me in this one was Texas Tech. I didn't think a whole lot of Texas Tech heading into the tournament with JT Toppin being out.
Yeah.
I thought they were a good pick against. Even ahead of them losing to Akron into the first round in this one. Right. But, yeah, I had Akron in my Sweet 16 from this. I had them beating Texas Tech and then beating Alabama.
Yeah, I
don't admit to that on our college basketball show, please. We got to keep a good look for the audience here, make them think we know ball a little bit.
Honesty is the best one. I'll be honest with them.
I fell for the Akron hype as well, Brandon Dyer. I picked Akron to beat Texas Tech. I just didn't think Texas Tech was going to be a good team without JT Toppin, their best player. They went on to beat Akron, but then obviously they got blown out by Alabama, who I was surprised that Alabama didn't get beat in the first round. I didn't fall for the Hofstra hype, but I thought that it was going to be a pretty solid game. I didn't think Alabama was going to be that good of a team going into this tournament. Offensive heavy, not really working on their defense. And, I mean, I know it is for football. I don't know about basketball, but defense wins championships. And you got to have a little bit of both if you want to go far in this tournament. And I think that, sadly for Alabama, they are running into a team right now that has a little bit of both in the Michigan Wolverines. And I feel like this might be game of this round. I know Illinois-Houston's going to be a great one, but I think Michigan-Alabama is definitely going to be up there as like a top 2 game of the Sweet 16. And I'm excited to see which way that one goes. And I feel like whoever wins that, probably going to go against Iowa State. But give me Iowa State coming out of this region. I really like this team. They've definitely surprised me. Beating Kentucky pretty big. Kentucky, who barely scraped past Santa Clara, who I had picked originally. And Iowa State's making their way. And I think that they have a great shot against Tennessee, obviously. And then I think they go on and they beat Michigan or Alabama, depending on who wins that one.
I was low on Texas Tech, too, just like you guys, for the same reason. J.J. Toppin being out was definitely an alarm for me.
Yeah.
I did think they'd beat Akron, though. And I did pick them to beat Alabama in the round of 32 just out of spite, even though I did think I was going to win that game. But that was a big spite pick for me right there. But you got Michigan, Alabama. I agree with JT. I think this could be one of the best games of the tournament. That one of the best games this weekend. But on the football side of things, Michigan has owned Alabama the last 2 years. They've played back-to-back seasons on 2 very different stages, Rose Bowl and ReliaQuest Bowl. So kind of 2 things there. So that could be a big matchup. And I do think Iowa State does beat Tennessee. I think Iowa State-Michigan will be a great game in the Elite Eight. But also, you get a third Saturday of October in March. That's a possibility in the Elite Eight.
Then Michael, I'll let you lead on this one. And there was a team that lost in this Midwest region that you know very well, and that would be your Georgia Bulldogs and Mr. Mike White leading the charge at the helm over there. Where does Mike White go from here? Because I feel like he's built this program up to where they can make the tournament every year. He's made it the past 2 years. I just think it's a case of them having a bad seeding, to be honest with you.
It's tough because the way I view this for Mike White is when he got to Georgia, if you're going to tell any Georgia fan, because let's just be honest, we're all football fans that just watch the other sports. That's what it is. And so if you have told any Georgia fan, hey, we're going to make the tournament back-to-back years, haven't done that since 2015, they'd be like, oh, yeah, sign me up. Mike White's great. He can stay. Mm-hmm. The problem is that the fan base now, especially the students, we're starting to buy into basketball now. People are showing to the Steg. I went to the Steg for the first time in my life this year because I was excited to watch basketball at Georgia. So people are starting to buy in, and now that you have that buy-in, you have that attention now, people are getting hungry because you're getting in the tournament. And it'd be one thing if you go in and like last year against Gonzaga, you lose a competitive game, that's one thing. You get smacked. It was 27-3 like we talked about already, like immediately right off the rip. In this game, St. Louis, look, I get St. Louis was a good basketball team too, but like St. Louis, guys, the Billikens. What are we doing? We're getting smacked around by them as well. Mm-hmm. We look terrible. We look nervous. I mean, that's just the body language was bad the whole time, taking ridiculous shots. I think it's tough because you're in a situation where you're not a school that can really say, hey, we're making the tournament, get lost. But at the same time, Mike White's changing his own expectations right now to where I think if he has another year next year, we get in this tournament and it's another first round exit, regardless if it's close or not, that seat's gonna get warmer and warmer for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's 100%. Completely changed the program at Georgia. I don't know. You know, this is some entitlement coming from these Georgia fans where they say, oh, we won a national title in football, we should do it in all these other sports, when there was no hype, no momentum behind this basketball program before Mike White stepped into it. And I'll tell you where Mike White goes in this offseason. He's going to go down to his knees and pray that Blue Cane and the rest of this core is going to stick around in Athens. It doesn't go and get his team doesn't get picked apart by the vultures in the transfer portal that are trying to bring in the proven talent that went out and beat a lot of really good teams in the SEC at the end of this year.
I mean, looking at this Georgia team, I definitely think there is a little bit of bias of like, oh, yeah, Georgia football is so good. Surely their basketball team has to be just as good. And, I mean, that's obviously not what we got out of Georgia in this first round. I turned on the TV, and it was a pretty bad blowout to start the game, and so I turned it off. And I turned it right back on, and it was 100 to, like, 70. And I was like, man, what happened? Bad blowout. What happened to Georgia basketball? I knew from the start it was not going to be a great game. I had St. Louis going on in this one. But I thought it was going to be a little bit closer. Georgia just did not look good. I think Mike White, like Aiden said, has changed his program around completely. Georgia's starting to look a little bit more like a basketball school. Obviously, they're not going to be. Football is still going to reign supreme over there. But, I mean, Georgia is consistently making the tournament. You said back-to-back for the first time since 2015. And I think that this is going to continue as long as Mike White is there. And no matter what, if it's a first-round exit or if they make it to the round of 32 and get out, it's Georgia basketball, and it's always going to be somewhat mediocre. Mm-hmm. I find it very hard to see this team ever making a deep run.
Always.
No, dude, Georgia brings in enough money through athletics to where they can go through and they can build them a roster just as well as anybody else can.
True. Yeah.
You just have to establish the starting point for that. And I think that's where Mike White needs to try and go. He needs to go out, needs to get some big-name prospects, and then try and build up that reputation. Once that reputation starts to get in there, that's when he can start bringing in transfers.
That's what he's gone out there and done. Blue Kane was the best prospect Georgia's had commit in years to the program since Anthony Edwards. This guy's, you saw what he did. He came in, completely changed the outlook of the team going into March.
So now, needless to say, there's going to be a lot of stars onto the basketball court for the next 2-3 weeks we have left
Couple
of
weeks.
March
We got a couple
Madness.
weeks.
But let's talk about some of the campus legends that's come through.
Reggie Bush, Johnny Manziel, Jimmer Fredette, Christian Leitner. What do these guys have in common? All these players know what it's like to be a campus legend.
That is right. It is our time for our signature show of the segment, Who's That Campus Legend?
Signature
Signature segment of the show. Sorry, guys. Aiden, who's your campus legend today?
My campus legend played at the University of Purdue.
Oh, all right.
He was a running back.
Purdue and football doesn't align with me. I don't know what it is. It doesn't sound right.
I don't know. I ain't got a guess right now, big dog.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out where he was drafted at.
I think of Purdue, and literally the only
Drew
person
Brees.
that comes to mind is Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Okay, he was undrafted in the 2015
great.
NFL draft. That
Great.
was why I couldn't find it, because it did not happen.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I don't know who. No.
All right. He's played from 2015. Wait, that was last. He's played for Miami, Baltimore, Cleveland, Chicago, San Francisco, Miami, and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wait, is he still playing?
Yes, 2015, 2025.
He's on the Raiders currently?
Yes, on the Raiders currently.
Go
Miami,
through.
Baltimore, Cleveland. That was all his first year. Next year, Chicago, San Francisco. San Francisco 2016 to 2021. Miami 2022 to 2024. And last year on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
I have no idea who this guy is. I'm be honest.
I didn't know
with
he
you.
played for this many teams.
You're not a real Boilermaker fan.
In basketball, I am.
Yeah, well, this guy's a legend.
I'll take a guess. Face Brand, give me the pencil over there.
The pencil.
Yeah, pass around the
Pass around the pencil.
I don't think it's
I got
right.
my guess locked down. I don't know if this is right, but
Brandon, you
the
got
teams
nothing?
align a
I
little
don't
bit.
have anything.
All right, I will ask
I didn't realize he
JT
played
and
for-
Michael to reveal it to me.
It's a Raheem Mostert.
Raheem Mostert.
How about that?
That
Oh.
is
I
had no confidence
entirely
in that at all.
correct. Good job, guys.
Hey.
1 point for each of them.
Oh, go into mine next. Who'd be guy from Florida.
It's a bad start, Brandon.
Be a quarterback.
Florida quarterback.
Florida quarterback.
I'm gonna lock
let me,
in right now.
Let me
Nah,
lock in.
he's
I'm
gonna-
locking in, actually.
Nah, he's going deep. He's going deep with it. I know he's gonna.
No, I'm locking in because
Let's
I need
let-
points like big time.
You do.
Let's
I'm
let
sure.
Mr. Michael over there write down his guess.
Who's got it? Pass me the pen.
He's excited.
So-
Haven't
Nothing-
seen you that excited
Yeah, I
since
haven't
last
seen-
week when
I don't.
Georgia
I
hit
don't
that
think he's gonna.
walk-off.
I don't think he's gonna go with the obvious answer. That's the thing.
Michael's so excited about a Florida quarterback. That's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
I'm locked.
Where do your loyalties really
It's
lie?
just because I think I know where Brandon's going with it.
You already
I
have
don't.
yours
I
down?
don't think he would do that.
All right, 22nd pick in 2003.
Oh my gosh! Really? You went there?
Make sure the years are right for that. Hold on.
I don't think
I
this
might
guy was
still be
drafted
good.
in the
I
same
might
year.
I don't know. I don't know this one.
Played from 2003 to 2016 in the NFL.
I'm probably wrong.
I'm not sure that I know this one. All right, you can keep it
Played
going.
for the Bears, Texans, Redskins, Browns, and Falcons.
Okay, read those names slower, please.
Bears, Texans,
Hmm.
Redskins, Browns, and Falcons.
I think I know.
All right, I've got
I'll
a.
give you a tad bit of a hint here. He started
What?
a Super Bowl.
Oh.
I've got a. I reckon for him. I reckon it could be.
Repeat the teams again.
Bears, Texans, Redskins, Browns, Falcons.
I don't remember any of those teams going to a Super Bowl. I'm just kidding.
All right.
There's a story of the 2007 Bears led by Rex Grossman.
Not Anthony Richardson.
I had guessed
Not
Matt
Anthony
Schaub.
Richardson and not Matt Schaub.
That's what I thought you
and
were
not
going.
Danny Ward. That was a really good guess.
That's what I thought you were going with.
I didn't think he was going to go that obvious.
Rex Grossman, of course.
Florida legend.
Probably the most notable Florida quarterback
ever, yeah.
Ever.
True.
I mean, I wouldn't see anybody else above him.
All right, who's it over to now?
And JT.
I'll go ahead and go next.
Jacob Thomas.
This college is Michigan State.
Got it.
Aiden's got it. No, you might get it on this next one.
Nope. Hold up. I am going to lock in right here.
Okay.
I do think I know this one.
I don't think you do.
I think I know this one.
I think
you can go ahead.
You definitely peaked, bro.
What do you mean? I've been staring
you
at Aiden.
either peaked or you peaked.
Dude, I've been staring at Aiden this
if you know what I mean.
whole time, dude.
That's hilarious.
I've been staring at Aiden this whole time. Looking at those eyes and tell me you can't just stare.
Well, Brandon
at
Dyer, I'll tell you this is a kicker.
All right, that changed everything.
No lock-ins, no guesses, no nothing.
Dude, what's banned JT from campus?
This guy's a legend. This guy is actually a legend.
Yeah, man.
All right, 86th overall in 1982. The 4th round pick. A kicker getting drafted, by the way.
What are you talking about, Magic Johnson?
Any guesses?
Got nothing.
This is insane.
1982 kicker. Hold on.
Do you need the years?
I would love the years, actually, yeah.
1982 to 2007. 25-year career.
Oh, I know who this is. Okay.
A legend. Campus legend. 100%.
Not a campus legend.
Nah.
Where's the pencil at?
Move it away.
I think I got it based on how many years he was active. I think that.
Yeah. I can't remember the dude's name. George Blanda came to mind, but that's not him. I don't remember this dude's name.
Michael locked in. Aiden, I'll tell you the teams are
Please do.
The Saints, the Falcons, the Giants, Chiefs, Vikings, and then retired back on the Falcons.
Yeah. Pass that to me.
I got it wrong.
Pass that to me. I do not remember this guy's name.
I should have kept it in there. My bad.
I don't know why that's the name that came to mind.
Aiden's locked in. Gentlemen, flip those things. It's not Ray Guy. He was a punter.
I had
Kenneth
Walker.
Walker. It's not Adam Vinatieri. This is the NFL's all-time leading scorer, Morton Anderson.
Morton. That's his
Morton
name.
Anderson.
Morton Anderson, not Ray Guy.
Not Ray Guy.
And to end it off, Mr. Michael Miller. Who's your campus legend?
It's all the same to me. Special teams.
He
aren't
attended
real.
Penn State University.
We are.
We are Penn State. Oh, I'm locking in.
Oh,
all right. That is
all right. Really fast.
I don't want to call one of my co-hosts stupid, but that is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
He does need points. That's true.
I think this would be crazy if I got this one though.
All-time
like
boneheaded play. All right,
this might actually be crazy if I got this.
He's a wide receiver.
Nope, didn't get it.
Nah.
Penn State receiver.
I went the
I have
special
a name,
guest route.
but
I'm gonna go.
We are.
Ahead and stay. Not
Penn
like
State.
that.
He was the 16th overall pick in 2022.
Yeah, I got a name here.
Oh,
I got a name here.
Dang it!
I can't remember this dude's
I
name.
know who it is.
This dude is irrelevant. Holy crap! I remember this
Oh,
guy
that hurts.
very barely.
Or at least I think that's. I think I have the college right on that.
Nope, that's not his name.
Is it not?
Okay, no, I'm thinking
I didn't
myself.
need to-
Oh,
you
know it
keep
off the
going,
pick,
tell me
bro.
some stuff.
His years played 2022 to present day, so he's still playing.
Yep.
Tell me the teams.
Teams, he was drafted by the Commanders.
Yep.
Yep.
He's played for the Eagles.
Yep.
And now he's on the Falcons.
Yep. I know who it is. Yep. Dang it, dude. This is not a legend. In any way.
No, he was really
good at
Penn
this.
State.
On campus, he was.
he was
but in the NFL,
he was a campus legend.
In the NFL,
Campus legend.
He is a campus legend that I cannot remember the name of.
When he made it to the league, he's definitely the least campus legend possible.
5'8", 165.
I know exactly.
That's his height and weight. I don't know his name.
All right. Reveal.
Ray, I guess. Are you wrong?
I have KJ Hamler.
I had Trace McSorley, but this is Jahan Dotson. Yeah.
Jahan Dotson.
Oh, I thought he went to TCU.
Nope.
That's Josh Doxson.
Oh,
Josh Dotson.
Josh. Oh,
Yeah.
There you go. The more you know with A Navy.
That will be it for our episode tonight. The sequel of March Madness. Stay tuned
And
for
the sequel of
the
Collin Hurst.
And Colin Hurst.
And sequel Collin Hurst. Double sequel episode.
Shout out Colin Hurst for being here.
Stay tuned to see how we end the trilogy here on to the Playbook here on WSN Wolf Sports Network.